remember it all so clearly. I remember that morning. I can just see those clouds off in the distance as I packed my bags, and I pulled out my Bluetooth speaker, and I knew exactly the song that I had to put on. Rocket Man by Elton John. I said one last goodbye, and then just pedaled off into the distance. I tried to take in everything. The air as it entered my lungs. The scent of the forest. Nature surrounding me. I was off on my great Canadian adventure. Hello, my name is Alex Burney, and this is my story. Alright, this is the bike. Just take it down. His name is Buffalo Soldier, and it's a specialized Sequoia. April 27th, 2017. I packed my bags and hit the road. My goal? To cycle from one end of the country to the other, coast to coast, across Canada. Hello? So this is my map here. So I started out in Kelowna, which is right here in British Columbia, and I actually headed west first, following mostly Highway 3 and then a bit of Highway 7, took the ferry over to Vancouver Island, followed Highway 4 all the way out to Tofino. Made my way down to Victoria, stayed there for a few days, met some really cool people. Went back to Vancouver, got a ride back to Kelowna, and then I took Highway 33 down south to get down to Highway 3 again, and followed Highway 3 all the way around up until Cranbrook. Then I made my way back north, heading up towards Radium. Stayed there, met some of the locals, and then went all the way up to Banff. All the way I met Ellie just outside of Calgary on a brutal day of really bad headwinds, and we ended up riding together all the way through most of the prairies until Regina, and he kept going and I took a day off, and then I ended up catching up to him again all the way in Kenora, Ontario. The wind would ebb and flow like waves on the ocean. Once I was back, caught up with Ellie again in Kenora, we continued to Thunder Bay, and I finally got a chance to see Lake Superior. Rode along the north shore of Lake Superior, where I stayed with him and his family in Marathon. I then waited there for 2 weeks, waiting for my friend Claudia, who I met all the way back in Victoria. She got off in Chicago and then cycled all the way back up to Canada, while I rode all the way over to Sault Ste. Marie. From there, I cycled with Claudia down Manitoulin Island, took the ferry over into Tobermory, down the Bruce Peninsula, along through Ontario, through Peterborough, Perth, and up into Ottawa. We then crossed into Quebec and followed the north shore up into Montreal, where we stayed with my cousin Ryan. Then we followed the north side of the St. Lawrence River up to Quebec City, and then we crossed over to stay with Claudia's family in Lévis. From there, we continued along the south shore of the St. Lawrence River, extending my trip and traveling all the way around the Gaspé Peninsula, a region called Gaspésie. We continued down into New Brunswick, deciding to take the shuttle bus over to PEI, over the Confederation Bridge, the longest bridge in North America. Took the ferry over into Nova Scotia, where Claudia headed down to Halifax, and I continued up north to Cape Breton Island, heading towards the ferry to Newfoundland. I remember getting off the ferry in Newfoundland, and I would describe it as landing on another planet. The ferry door, the ramp for the ferry door opened and came down, and it was like I was on a spaceship and I had just come onto this brand new planet, and it was so abstract to me, but it was also this serene, lost and undiscovered beauty. I then headed up and only made it to Stephenville before I contacted a family friend who lives in Bay Roberts, which is all the way over here. I was going to surprise her. Turns out she was actually leaving within the next few days to fly all the way back to the other side of the country in Vancouver. So I decided that I wasn't gonna miss the opportunity. So I hopped on a bus and made my way over to Bay Roberts, where I stayed for a few days. After that, I finally made my way to St. John's, and the furthest point east in North America. Roughly a total of 9,000 kilometers coast to coast across Canada. I cycled through British Columbia. I made my way across the prairies and into Ontario. I made my way into Quebec, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and finally made my way to Newfoundland. Eventually, I had finally set foot on the furthest point east in North America, located just outside of St. John's at a place called Cape Spear National Lighthouse. I met so many amazing, wonderful people who helped me grow as a person, taught me things that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. I learned a lot about myself, what I'm capable of doing, and what I want to do with my life. Thank you to all the people who I met and helped me out in situations and times of need. It seems small, but every little bit helps, and I'm very grateful for everyone I met. I got a chance to inspire people to go beyond what we think is possible. Step outside, and find your path, your passion, dream, anything. Step outside and go do it, because you can accomplish anything.
Rugged man, I think it's gonna be a long time. It does